Good morning, SKN. I'm Jamie Morris.
And I'm Cortensia Carty. And it is indeed a new week.
Indeed.
A new week, and we have so much to talk about today.
Yes.
So what are you most excited about?
I'm excited about the SPBS, the Sandy Point Benevolent Society interview that we have coming up with Dr. Stuart Williams and, of course, Socrates and Corinne Phipps. Yeah, that's actually right after the news. So
yeah, and it's actually International Charity Day, so that's a great way to start out today. Then we have Roma. She's the winner of the 2019 Independence slogan.
Right,
so I'm looking forward to
Absolutely.
that. Yes, as well. And then we speak about charity, and then we speak about music. We got a little pan up in the place.
Oh, yeah. So this is going to be an action-packed show. And I think for the entire month of September, of course, back to school, it's really big for, well, everybody, really, students. So we're going to be doing that, focusing on independence. Can't wait.
Indeed, we cannot wait.
Without further ado, we're not going to delay you anymore. We're going to move on to the latest in local news. This from SKNIS. Incoming students of the Arts, Science, and General Studies, or ASGS division of the Clarence Fitzroy Bryant College, CFBC, were encouraged to embrace the new opportunities afforded at the tertiary education institution and to have fun as they begin to pursue their careers and life goals. Junior Minister responsible for youth empowerment, the Honorable Iselene Phillip, shared the advice in a motivational speech to the first-year students on Wednesday, August 31st, 2022. She encouraged the young people to formulate an exit, EXIT strategy during their tenure at CFBC. Junior Minister Phillips stated, quote, "I encourage them first of all to explore, to take the opportunity to explore the different courses, the different subject areas, and also to experience new things by engaging in extracurricular activities and different clubs. Of course, taking the opportunity to improve themselves and their skills, whether that's public speaking or communication, even just their knowledge and understanding in different areas. And finally, for the T, to take control of their lives. As young people, young adults, now is the time for them to take control of determining who they want to be, to take the lead and not be afraid to ask for help, especially as they try to navigate and figure out what they want to do and who they want to be as young people in this world," end quote.
She's busy.
She is busy.
Yes, and her words of inspiration probably rung deep and resonated with the students.
Definitely. There's a newness for her in the field. There's a newness for the first-year students coming in. So definitely the extra strategy, motivational indeed.
Indeed. We continue now this from ZIZ in a ceremony held on the patronage of His Excellency the Governor General, Sir Tapley Seaton at Government House on the 30th August 2022, the St. Kitts and Nevis chapter of the University of the West Indies Alumni Association conferred the 2022 UE Pelican Award on renowned scientist Dr. Samuel Rollins. The Pelican Award is the highest honor that the association can bestow upon an alumnus. The recipient must be a graduate of the University of the West Indies who has excelled in his or her chosen field and has major positive national, regional, or international impact. Nominations were invited from UE alumni. The Pelican Award is conferred annually in the respective regional chapters of the association. The past recipients have been His Excellency Sir Samuel W. Tapley Seaton in 2017, the Right Excellent Dr. Sir Kennedy Simmons in 2018, Dr. Keith Archibald in 2019, Lorna Callender in 2020, and the Honorable Justice Sir Hugh Rollins 2021. Oh.
Yes, it is.
Congratulations to Mr. Rollins on the recipient of that award.
Indeed. All right, we're moving on to sports. Knight Riders edge Royals to lift WCPL title. This from Win Media. After losing the 60 or T10 title to the Barbados Royals, the Trinbago Knight Riders had sweet revenge on Sunday, September 4th, 2022, at Warner Park by whipping the Royals by 10 runs to be crowned the inaugural Women's CPL champions. Batting first, Knight Riders, led by captain DeAndre Doughton, who scored a patient 59 runs off 62 balls as wickets fell around her, took her team a well below par 100 for 7 off their allotted 20 overs. Royals captain Hayley Matthews led from the front with the ball picking up 3 wickets. In reply, a valiant effort from Matthews, 46, was not enough to take her side across the line as they were bowled out for 90 inside of their 20 overs. No other batter was able to get into the double figures as they crumbled under pressure. Scores: Trinbago Knight Riders 100 for 7 off 20 overs, and Barbados Royals 90 off 18.4 overs.
My thing is, I felt that I wonder if I should say it, but I feel like everybody that won the 60s is struggling now.
Oh, yeah?
So I said it. Yeah.
Yes,
Don't
you
you
did.
see the Patriots are struggling, and now I thought the ladies from Barbados, the Royals, would have gotten an opportunity to raise 2 trophies back to back. I know the Patriots still have time to recoup, recover, and well, redesign, refocus everything, and just come back around and win it. But the ladies' time is
Yeah.
up. So yeah.
Well, we're still rooting for the Patriots, so.
Yes. Win for us. We now continue with the weather. It's partly sunny this morning, becoming locally cloudy this afternoon with a 60% or a moderate chance of showers. There is a high of 90 and a low of 75 degrees Fahrenheit. It is now 84 degrees Fahrenheit at this time. The weather for the week looking a bit cloudy with a few showers here and there, but let us enjoy it. Much more after this. Stay tuned.
Great news, everyone! SKN Moves is turning 3. And this year, we are going to celebrate bigly by bringing back the 7-week challenge. For week 1, we will focus on the importance of breastfeeding. In week 2, we will participate in the SKN Moves anniversary walk. Week 3, let's watch the In Your Kitchen I Rep My Community competition finals. Week 4, a healthy drinking water challenge. During week 5, it's all about mindfulness and our mental health. And no, that's not all. In week 6, we will learn about self-care and management. The celebrations end in week 7 with the Caribbean Wellness Week activities, National Fruit Day and National Sneaker Day. Come participate, celebrate and enjoy. Join SKN Moves and let us move toward a healthier St. Kitts and Nevis.
If you gradually use less salt, you will gradually want less salt. Eating less salty foods will reduce your cravings for salty foods. Let's get salt smart.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. We now continue with the latest in regional news. This by way of a CXC press release. The Caribbean Examinations Council, CXC, wishes to advise candidates that the results of this year's Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Examination, CAPE, Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate, the CSEC, and the Caribbean Certificate of Secondary Level Competence, the CCSLC examinations will be released online at 6 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time, that's 6 p.m. tonight, on Monday, the 5th of September 2022. Candidates may access their results via the student portal at www.cxe.org/students-results. CXC has established a help desk service to provide support to candidates accessing their results via the student portal. For assistance, candidates may contact the CXC Help Desk Service in Barbados at 1-246-227-1700. That's 1-246-227-1700, or in Jamaica at 1-876-630-5200. Between the hours of 6 p.m. to 10 p.m., that's Atlantic Standard Time, today, Monday, 5th September. Stakeholders are reminded that results are preliminary. Candidates who may have questions about their grades may submit requests for reviews and/or queries. The deadlines for submission is Friday, October 7th, 2022. So the kids are probably excited. I saw one
Anxious.
with a comment on the Facebook that she's already packing up her clothes in a garbage bag just in case.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's ready to run in case if her results aren't favorable.
Enough said. I'm sure they
Yes.
will be. All right, moving on to international news. 10 killed in knife rampage in remote Canada communities. This from Al Jazeera. 10 people have been killed and at least 15 wounded after 2 men went on a knife rampage in at least 13 locations in 2 communities in central Canada, according to police. Police responding to emergency calls on Sunday found 10 people dead in the indigenous community of James Smith Cree Nation and the nearby town of Weldon in Saskatchewan Province, Royal Canadian Mounted Police Assistant Commissioner Rhonda Blackmore told a news conference. She said, quote, "Several additional victims have been injured, 15 of which at this point have been transported to various hospitals. More victims may have made their way to hospitals on their own," she added. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said the attacks were horrific and heartbreaking, and the government was closely monitoring the situation. He wrote on Twitter, quote, "I'm thinking of those who have lost a loved one and of those who were injured," end quote. Police named the 2 suspects in the rampage as Damian Sanderson and Miles Sanderson. Officials said the 2 men in their early 30s were last seen traveling in a black Nissan Rogue and last spotted in the provincial capital of Regina, about 320 kilometers or 200 miles south of where the attacks took place. Devastating.
Yes, and condolences to the family and friends that have to go through this at this time. And I hope the mental state of those 2 gentlemen are, I don't even know what to put after that. Because it obviously wasn't in a good state for them to commit such a heinous crime.
It's really, sad when you think of it, and the motive for these things, I guess we'll uncover that soon enough. I have my thoughts as to why it occurred. But that being said, thoughts and prayers with the families, as you said, and the Canadian community at large, Canadian country at large, Canada at large. All right, we'll be back in a moment with more Good Morning SKN. Stay tuned.
I eat some veggies for dinner. Let me just check the amount of sodium in this can. Oh no, this is too much. Let me try our next option. They did say it's healthy to consume less salt. This is much better. I am salt smart.
You ever hear Earthquake call and say, "Hello, Miss Lee, yes, it's me, Earthquake, I coming Tuesday around 10? No, sir. Earthquake does arrive unannounced, and when it come, it shake all sense and sensibility out of we. Remain calm, stay inside, and do the DCH. Drop, cover, hold on. Once the shaking starts, you know it's earthquake. Make a quick move to a safe place. Don't run to the door, we are in the exit. Stairs might block up or full of people. Elevator, avoid that, because you might get in and poof, power gone, and you're stuck in that box without ear. Take cover under a strong table or a bed, or crouch against an inside wall or in a corner, and cover your face and your head with your arms. Remember, DCH, drop, cover, hold on. Glass windows and doors, outside walls and doors in an earthquake, bad news. Take care yourself. Most injuries during earthquakes happen when something drop and hit people entering or exiting a building. Last thing, nobody run outside and ask, you feel it, you feel it? Remain calm, stay indoors until all the shaking stop, and do the DCH, drop, cover, hold on.
Hey, my friend, what going on?
Not a thing. I just here cooling under this tree, about to eat a mango or two.
Where you get mango from all now?
Boy, Auntie Rose bring me some mango this morning.
Oh, gosh. What you hit me for?
You give me something to put on?
Girl, you can't just come tempting me with these juicy round pally mangoes and expect me not to want some.
Just because something looks appealing and you want it, doesn't mean you are entitled to it and that you should touch or take it. Your mother ain't teach you manners. Ask for consent first before you touch up the mango them.
But why ask? And if it's dear, it's dear. Just take it. Why ask?
Simple. If it is mine and you ain't asked for it, it is called, wait for it, stealing.
That's true. My bad. Okay. May I please have some mangoes?
I don't know. After that spectacle, I ain't sure I want to give you any.
You see that? But I ask.
Just because you ask doesn't mean I have to give. It is still my mangoes.
So what you tell me ask for then?
Because consent is everything. Had you asked first, I would have been more inclined to give you one. And just because you ask doesn't mean I have to give you. You got it?
Okay, I got it. Now, may I please have some mangoes?
Only because you're my friend and I like you. But that still don't mean you're entitled to it.
Okay, I get it. I get it.
Good. Don't leave your mango skin on the ground, eh?
If you understand the importance of asking for someone's consent for a mango, then it shouldn't be too hard to understand consent when it comes to sex. The power of consent is everything. Ask first. If you or a friend has been sexually assaulted, please call 465-5000 for the counseling center.
This message was brought to you by No Judgment SKN and sponsored by the Basic Needs Trust Fund, the Department of Gender Affairs, and the Caribbean Development Bank.
Where are you going? I just mopped the floor and now the chair leaving marks all over the place. Come on, go in bed, see? Sometimes I just can't take you on.
Violence is expressed in many ways. Most, unfortunately, go unreported or unaddressed for many reasons. If you or someone disabled is being abused, contact the police at 465-2241, social services at 467-1314, or the St. Kitts Nevis Association of Disabled Persons at 465-2151, 663-9077, or 663-4116. This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO.
Dreamy Decor specializes in flowers for all events, from birthdays to weddings and any other special occasion. What's a better way to express to the people you love than by providing the finest selection of beautiful flowers and gifts? So when you think of flowers, think of us, Dreamy Decor.
Let's face it, most parents or guardians don't want to think about their teens having sex, let alone contemplate the possibility that they might get pregnant or get someone pregnant. Teenage pregnancy is a situation that involves female adolescents. A teenage female can be pregnant as early as age 12 or 13, although it is usually 14 and older. The fact that teenagers become pregnant is related to many factors. Here are some tips to decrease teen pregnancy. Teach teenagers comprehensive sex education. Target messages at teen boys, not just girls. Get the whole community involved. Encourage mentoring, parental involvement, and support. This message was brought to you by Project Viola through the Department of Gender Affairs with support from the Basic Needs Trust Fund and the Caribbean Development Bank.
Yo, what up? It's your boy N. Richie right here at Studio 327. I'm here to give you the promo that you guys need because this is something special for St. Kitts. I'm telling you, tune in to Good Morning SKN, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on YouTube, Facebook, and on Moment Channel 4. Also, I realize nobody else is doing this. Follow the Good Morning SKN Instagram at Good Morning SKN and the Studio 327 Inc. Instagram. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook. This is pretty long, but follow us and yeah.
It was glitz and glamour last Saturday night at the Sandy Point Benevolent Society 10th Anniversary Awards Banquet. 5 upstanding people were awarded for the work that they continue to do. Today, we have with us the president of the Sandy Point Benevolent Society, Dr. Stuart Williams, and Corinthia Phipps Benjamin on Zoom, and Sylvester Socrates Hodge in person with us in studio. They will all give us some insight about what took place at the Sandy Point Benevolent Society's 10th annual banquet dinner. So let's get a little background. So Dr. Stewart, we will begin with you. Can you remind our viewers what your organization does?
Yes, the Sandy Point Benevolent Society, I would hereforth refer to it as SPBS. We were actually started in 1997, so yes, a couple of decades ago. Intentions were really to promote education, promote students and promote science in particular at what was then the Sandy Point High School, now the Charles E. Mills Secondary School. And we've grown. We always had ambition among the friends that sort of started this initiative to give back and to have a larger footprint in primarily the Sandy Point community. But we quickly extended to the feeder schools, which took us to Newton Ground and St. Paul's. And to make it short today, we offer scholarships to folks who touch not just that immediate St. Paul's to Sandy Point community. Now we're in Fort Charles and we headed to Nevis. And so when we think of the St. Kitts Nevis diaspora, we do have that breadth, that reach. But it's not just education. We stand up and we're present whenever an opportunity presents itself to assist and to participate in the community. COVID was a great example of how we stood up. We do it with individual needs as well. So the message I want to give to your listening audience is we're truly about giving back. And we give back in many ways, but certainly we got our roots in education, and we continue to maintain that root, if you will, and supporting these branches as we go forward. I think it's a great opportunity for me to not miss the moment to say thank you to the many patrons who've helped us to grow. So when I talk about education and we spend 20,000 plus per year supporting education, we also have partners, right? We've had people who've stepped up and help us financially with the sustaining these scholarships as well. So it doesn't happen alone. And, you know, I remember the first banquet when I said it takes a village. It's about the village, right? We get a lot of people engaged, and that's how we are sustainable, and that's how we're able to, notwithstanding COVID, continue to support all our initiatives moving forward.
Good stuff.
So in speaking to the banquet, you just mentioned the first. We're here to talk specifically about the 10th anniversary banquet. The theme for this year's banquet is creating opportunities and measuring impact. Give us some insight into that theme as to why it was chosen and why it's necessary to measure that impact.
No, it was one of the legacy things sort of coming out of COVID. We started thinking about a COVID theme, and we wanted it to remain quite positive, right? We did not even want to mention the name, but it was a reflection on the fact that despite not having a banquet since 2019, we really, through again the help of the team and many, were able to be impactful, and so we did contribute to the students who were stranded during COVID. We supported getting medical oxygen to hospitals in St. Kitts and Nevis. So it's that impact, and it's one of the maybe it's one of our foundational pieces, right? We're not a bank. We're an organization that really thrive on reaching out and helping students in need. And I'll just share one quick story because one of the recipients of one of our key scholarships this year was in financial distress, shall we say, enough distress that registering for the fall semester or even clearing her transcripts for what was done before was problematic. And these are the people who we particularly haven't really tried to reach out to, right? But it was just one such example of how do we rationalize who gets scholarships, how do we help the folks that really need help, and how do we stand up? So we thrive not on really helping those who need a hand up or handout, if you will, and I shouldn't say a handout, but a hand up, right, to continue to prosper and to advance their careers and things like that. So I think that was the thrust of it, to say, despite not being able to get together for 2+ years, we need to remind ourselves and remind folks that the impact is grounded, it's solid, and we're committed to pressing forward despite those challenges.
So, Dr. Williams, did this year's banquet, after its 2-year hiatus, did this banquet exceed all of your expectations?
Oh my goodness, there's so many ways to measure it, but what I like to say to folks is every table, every seat at the banquet was taken, and that's despite significant no-shows, some no-shows. So I think the feedback from the banquet was people love the energy, and so as someone who's always concerned about the product and the final outcome, I would say it exceeded my expectations. And I'll let, I know you have Corinne on, I'll let her speak to that. But it was really, the glamour was there. We get people dressed up over the Labor Day weekend. The celebration was there. And the recognition, right? We have some, you also have King Socrates on, and he's been a real committed soul through this process. So I felt it. Again, on a personal level, I would say I truly felt the energy and the excitement. From an attendance standpoint, it was quite successful. We do things like we create a souvenir magazine. That was quite successful as well. So kudos to the team. Job well done. It's exciting. It was an exciting opportunity, and I feel it.
I can feel your energy, as usual, Doctor. How were the awardees nominated? We understand that there was a secret ballot this time around. What can you tell us about that?
So we have a nomination process. So we reach out to folks. So individually, we nominate candidates, and we present those candidates. So we present the candidates. We had about 10 nominees. We presented those to the broad SPBS community, and then we went ahead and voted. And we always say in order not to influence the vote, we make that very, very private so that each individual votes is tallied by one administrator, and we don't make the individual votes public, right? We just tally the outcome at the end. And that's the process we go for. We think it's very fair, and yeah, folks choose the nominees based on the contributions to the overall community and the historical contributions, right? And some years we have a specific theme. I recall we had a sports theme. I think in 2018 we do things like that. We had a theme around folks who contributed to the business community, but in general it's a broad breadth and people. So we have a cultural icon this year, and we have other folks who are advocates out in the community and demonstrated leadership in different ways. But we do have a nomination process. We have a sponsor who presents each nominee so that the broad community here has the background in place, and then we move forward and vote.
Lovely, lovely. So Socrates, it's your turn now. So I asked you earlier if you dressed up for the award, although you weren't able to attend in person, I should say.
That is correct. I most certainly did. It's a very prestigious, august body and occasion, and I had to wear my threads.
Oh, nice. So were you told that you had the most votes?
I was told that, and it actually floored me. It's very flattering, but at the same time, very humbling. I first wanted to reach out to those who considered me for the nomination, but then hearing that you would have amassed the most votes of all the nominees, I still want to congratulate all the nominees, all those who would have received the awards, etc. But I'm still trying to take it all in. You asked me earlier, what is it? What was the reason why? I want to ask Dr. Wallen to speak to that because he knows.
Okay.
Right?
All right, so Dr. Williams, I'm certain you just heard Socrates. I did ask him earlier why he was nominated, and he has deflected to you. So perhaps you can shed some light on that.
What a setup! What a setup! But I'll take this one on. I actually saw what Socrates did beyond Calypso, and I was particularly moved by his program where he was sort of capturing some history in Sandy Point, and it was done very professionally, and it was sort of a real emotional reconnection and re-examination, and I've never seen anything like it. So the series he has with the Sandy Point Heritage Society alone really moved folks to say, wow, this is quite an outstanding endeavor, and it's done very professionally. But then when you start to put the pieces together on who is Sylvester Hodge, you realize, this is a guy who's been doing Calypso for a few decades at the highest level. And then when you talk about his entrepreneurship, I could make this the Socrates show, right? But it was one of these wow moments where the question we asked was, why did we wait so long? But truly the trump card was the Sandy Point Heritage Society work. And this is just, again, my opinion, but again, I think the group felt it. And he's reaching and setting some sort of really foundational sort of platform here around how we can tell the history of the great town of Sandy Point. I know others have said, wow, I want to tell my history as well in my community. So thank you for stepping forward, Socrates, and really making a difference with a piece and a series that's truly, truly outstanding.
Thank you so very much. Now you've had your answer.
Now I got my answer, and it leads to more questions for you, which you'll field, I'm hopeful, after the break. We'll be back in a moment.
Great news, everyone! SKN Moves is turning 3. And this year, we are going to celebrate bigly by bringing back the 7-week challenge. For week 1, we will focus on the importance of breastfeeding. In week 2, we will participate in the SKN Move anniversary walk. Week 3, let's watch the In Your Kitchen I Rep My Community competition finals. Week 4, a healthy drinking water challenge. During week 5, it's all about mindfulness and our mental health. And no, that's not all. In week 6, we will learn about self-care and management. The celebrations end in week 7 with the Caribbean Wellness Week activities, National Fruit Day and National Sneaker Day. Come participate, celebrate and enjoy. Join SKN Moves and let us move toward a healthier St. Kitts and Nevis.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
We welcome back President of the Sandy Point Benevolent Society, Dr. Stuart Williams, and Karinji Phipps Benjamin on Zoom, and Sylvester Socrates Hodge here in person. We're having a very informative discussion about the SPBS awards. Of course, you, Socrates, being an awardee this year, as well as Kareem G. Phipps. And I was asking you, Socrates, to shed some light on your work with the
Sandy Point Heritage Society. It's roughly about 18 months since we got up and running. This was in answer to a question posed, well, it was a discussion about the many things needed to be done in Sandy Point. Playing fields named to be named after XYZ. So I got some guys together, we discussed it. And when we were actually formatted as a group, I was told that since you came up with the idea, you should take lead. We've had some hiccups along the way, but I'm determined that this project should not fail. And so it's all about documenting the awesome history of Sandy Point in a manner that not only folks in the diaspora, people living in Sandy Point today are unaware. One of my interviews was with a 90-year-old former educator, teacher Anne Wevan. She celebrated her 100th birthday early this year.
Nice.
So I drove to Sandy Point and said big murals. One was donated by the SPBS, the other by the Sandy Point Heritage Society. In our discussion with her, many of the things I would ask about, she had no idea, because our history as a people was not taught in the schools. That education syllabus was crafted in Europe. So many things that relate to our people as slavery, are people who overcame. Like in Sandy Point, there's a place called the Pound Yard. That's where they impounded animals from the plantation.
Yes.
That was actually the slave market in Sandy Point. It still exists today, but people are unaware. Those who build houses and encroach on the area have no idea about the symbolism. Downing Street, Sandy Point, was named after, of course, number 10 Downing Street in the UK. On Downing Street, you find the remains of the British administrative headquarters. The first church, the Catholic Church, was at the bottom of Downing Street. Folks don't know. It's occupied by the Farrier family. Next to it was the first hospital. People think it's Sam Parkson. It's not. And outside that, there was Fort Hamilton. At the foot, that's where the British would drop out all the supplies just up the road from their headquarters. All that has been overlooked. Nothing of that was taught to our people in school. So I'm trying to bring all that out. We hear about the Hansen home, the Lazaretto leper home. I've just done 3 episodes on that because it was taboo to even discuss it, leprosy.
Yes.
But there was a huge outcry in Bassi about the lepers walking around, some milking cows. There was a leper who was milking cows and selling it to unsuspecting household. So the government at the time decided to round up all the people affected by Hansen home and put them in the form of Fort Charles, 40 years after it was closed as a military installation. So you can go to YouTube under King Socrates Presents, Facebook, The Story of Sandy Point, and you can follow those 13 episodes and get an insight of what that page represents. So for the folks out there like Dr. Williams and others who were able to make a reconnection with their hometown Sandy Point, it means a lot. Because a lot of what we're now learning through the research is not out there in the public.
I can see why you were awarded, and I'm even more intrigued to learn. And now I know indeed.
Because a few years ago, I got a national award from the government for my contribution to the development of culture, Calypso. So this takes it to another level, which I really, really appreciate.
Oh, that's so sweet.
It definitely does.
And as you say, it's very humbling. So, Corinne, we're going to bring you in now. So, what was it like to receive this award?
I think it was very, and thanks so much for having me on this morning, Cortensia and Jamie. In good company, Dr. Williams and King Socrates.
Bless your heart.
What did I feel, or what do I feel? It's humbling to think that just being yourself becomes, a recipe or an ingredient for being recognized. Just being Karinje, caring about people and caring about service comes naturally for me. And so I think there may have been multiple things that the organization took into account to make a determination that Karinje should be awarded. Maybe not massive nominations, but enough to be in good company with the other honorees.
All right, so Corinne, I asked Socrates this question. He pivoted to Dr. Williams when I asked it. I'm going to see if you have a similar response. Why specifically were you awarded?
Why specifically was I awarded?
Yes. Feel free to pivot.
I really should put that pressure on Dr. Stewart. I really should. And it would be nice to hear why. I think it's and I could be wrong. I think it was also an opportunity to appreciate. Yes, I may have connections, familial connections with the Sandy Point organization as a group. But as an organization or as part of another organization where we partner with, I think, like-minded goals, which is to support each other and support country. I think essentially that may have been taken into consideration in making a determination to nominate and then ultimately award me. I could be wrong, so I will yield to President Williams to polish that assumption.
So humble, so humble, so humble. No, I think for me, I think of servant leadership. I think of the reach across the diaspora, and Karinje work with her organization with Green Valley, and actually, I could say on air, I did not nominate Karinje. I was absolutely thrilled and excited to see Karinje on the panel and to have her here with us. And so I can tell you that when we think about ideas and how we move forward, I don't know how many conversations we have, Karinje, but a lot of things we even bring forward, and a lot of ideas that you see, and a lot of challenges that we take on, Kurinja is actually inspiration for many of these things. And so I think in terms of the commitment and, the things that she do with the children's program, and I know her recent podcast, as we trend to the new ways of reaching out to people, all those things, again, began to let people know that maybe Kurinja is not working in the office of the mission, but her mission didn't change, right? Her outreach and this being a community advocate and having that leadership position. We've had many conversations about how we can get the young people more engaged. So from a pure leadership engagement, the fact that Green Valley is, as a group, I know again it's a group, is advancing where it is, or common goals, if you will, in terms of reaching the broader diaspora. All of those things are what makes Kurinja stand out. So again, think leadership, think community advocacy, think on that level, think about the creative spirit to really reach the broader diaspora. Absolutely well deserved, and really happy and excited that Kurinja was so recognized this time around.
Thank you, Stuart.
Oh, that's so sweet.
It is, right?
I know.
Congratulations.
So we have time for one more question, and well, it's actually a statement that we're going to ask from each of you. In one sentence, what do you want anyone who's watching right now to remember about the importance of giving back? King Socrates, I'll start with you.
My philosophy is that you will not have lived and unless you really contributed to the upliftment of your fellow men. That to me is true humanity. And what Dr. Orleans and Kurinja has done, they've actually put that on steroids. So I'm actually proud to be part of that movement.
And Corinne?
One sentence. My father corrected me recently when I said that my mantra was crafted by Bob Marley. It's actually the Wailers who sang Pass It On is, live for yourself, you live in vain. Live for others, you live again. Despite the origin of, or the curator of that concept, I live by that credo. And it is a wonderful path to pursue in service to others. Live for yourself, you live in vain. Live for others, you live again. Truly, I am living.
Oh, that's so sweet. I got
Thank
goosebumps.
you, Corinne. And Dr. Williams, of course.
Very similar to Kurinja, but I pose my sentence as a question. And the simple question is, what is your legacy? And if I could share just one moment that happened on Saturday night, there was a young lady who showed up unexpectedly. She's a student at the University of the Virgin Islands. And she showed up with a crown on her head and 2 sashes across her chest. And I picked her, I said, who is that? Is that Jakima? And Jakima is a young lady who worked with us as SPBS. She was working with the bank in St. Kitts, and she became our secretary. And because of her presence and ambition, we had her as a co-host for the 2016 banquet in St. Kitts. She went on to university. She won the SPBS Whitley Gishard Scholarship. And then she proceeded to win the crown at the University of the Virgin Islands. And the big moment was when she headed to the historically Black colleges and university championship, if you will. And all I wanted was for Jakima to represent herself well. I wanted her to make Sandy Point, because of herself, right? Proud. And as I'm listening to the program, I realized what a superstar we had. And I'll tell you, she walked away with the crown. So imagine leaving University of Virgin Islands, now competing on a broad platform in the US, and she won. And she unexpectedly showed up at the event. And I said, Jakima, and she said, oh, I just came for this. I'm heading back home tomorrow. And that almost brought me to tears, right? Because I said, here's somebody who calls and says, she calls me Doc. She says, Doc, I'm doing an internship in Michigan. And it's so hard because I'm the only one here who look like me. How do I settle in? So I think about that legacy, right, of giving folks a hand up and really looking at them getting to their own, serve, achieve, and what you hope is that will continue. That folks who we touch will continue to see the likeness and feel it and continue to contribute. And just as Corinja says, I mean, if that's how we move forward, I know we're running out of time, but what is your legacy? That's what I pose to people. And thank you so much again for having us on this morning. So thank you.
It's been truly a pleasure.
A pleasure
and a
indeed.
conversation that can go on for hours, I'm sure. So I'm looking forward to the next time when we get to do this. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Congratulations again.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Wednesday, congratulations also.
And to you, Socrates. Thank you.
So, GMSKN Nation, stay tuned. We have so much more after this.
I wear a mask because I want to protect my child, but also I want to protect his classmates and his teachers.
I wear a mask because I care about the frontline workers who will have to work even harder if those around me get sick.
I wear a mask to protect my family. I wear a mask to protect you. I wear a mask because it is the right thing to do.
I wear a mask because I don't want to put any vulnerable individuals at risk, like my elderly loved ones.
I wear a mask because
we are all in this together.
Has anyone ever touched you here, here, or here? Well, these are actually bad touches, not good ones. And so, if anyone ever touches you in these areas or anywhere else that makes you uncomfortable, you must say no, then go and tell. Say it with me. Say no, then go and tell.
This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with Probation and Child Protection Services, the Ministry of Health, and the Pan American Health Organization.
When growing your savings, where you save matters more than you think. Dare to compare and see for yourself why you should start saving and investing at First Federal Credit Union. You don't have to settle for cents. Let your money make sense. Reap a higher return by stashing your cash in a high-yield savings account or term deposit and earn up to 4% interest on your money. At First Federal, we say yes.
Dreamy Decor specializes in flowers for all events, from birthdays to weddings and any other special occasion. What's a better way to express to the people you love than by providing the finest selection of beautiful flowers and gifts? So when you think of flowers, think of us, Dreamy Decor.
As a hypertensive patient, in my home, I reduce salt intake by not adding salt during the preparation of my food, not having a salt shaker on my table, limiting the consumption of salty snacks, and choosing products with low sodium content. That's why I am salt smart.
Yo, what up? It's your boy and Richie right here at Studio 327. I'm here to give you the promo that you guys need because this is something special for St. Kitts. I'm telling you, tune in to Good Morning SKN, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on YouTube, Facebook, and on Moment Channel 4. Also, I realize nobody else is doing this. Follow the Good Morning SKN Instagram at Good Morning SKN and the Studio 327 Inc. Instagram. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook. This is pretty long, but follow us and yeah.
St. Kitts and Nevis is celebrating its 39th anniversary of independence, so we certainly need a theme to commemorate the occasion. How did we get that theme? Well, here comes the winner of the Independence theme competition, Zavian Roma Richardson, to tell us how she accomplished that goal. We are also going to be talking with Javon Liebert, who is a member of the Independence Organizing Committee, and he will tell us about 2 new competitions. So it is time for celebration,
Yes,
it is a time
indeed.
for competition, and it is a time to discuss winning. So, Roma, let's talk about that. The theme for this year's Independence.
Good morning. Thank you so much for inviting me to this program this morning. The theme for this year's Independence really was motivated by my own thinking about what we need for the next year and going forward. So refocus, recreate, redesign Independence 39. It reflected for me that shift that I thought that we needed to shift us back on course and to take us even further.
It's interesting.
You spoke to it being something into the future as well. So you're thinking about 40 already, although we're just in 39.
Absolutely.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Why was it important for us to, if I have to dissect that theme, refocus? What did you see that we needed to refocus on?
First and foremost, our people. So when I submitted the theme, it had certain parameters. So it had to focus on talent development and it had to focus on sustainability. So when I talk about refocusing, it means refocusing on investing in our people, refocusing on what our priority areas are as well. So getting our heads back on track is precisely what it meant for me.
So is this your first competition that you entered into?
Yes. I usually enter competitions and not win. So it's also the first
so this is your first winning competition.
that I've won.
Okay, so congratulations on all of that once again, because I saw her before and I congratulated her prior to this. So Javon, you're welcome, love. It's your turn now.
Well, I just want to start off by thanking everybody who submitted a theme on behalf of the Independence Committee.
Okay.
It's important to note that we had 413, maybe more, because I realized more submissions kept on coming after the deadline was closed. But when we closed it, it was 413.
Wow, that's a
and
lot.
it was quite a task picking the winning one because there were so many really, really good ones. But when we saw the submission, again, and let me point out, we didn't know who it was from. There was no cheating, there was no bias, there was none of that. So let me clear the air, right? We read the submissions and we ranked them. They went to cabinet and they came back to the committee, and Roma turned out the winner. And we as a committee, we really love the theme, and from feedback from the community persons in the general public, they love the theme as well. So let me formally thank Roma.
Oh, that's sweet.
Congratulations on behalf of the Independence 39 Committee.
So Javon, let me interrupt right there. So there's another first. Speak to us about the Independence Hair Competition.
Yes, definitely. So that was our first competition, and we're launching a number of other competitions today. The first one being the hair competition, the SKN hair competition, and that is a competition that we created for creatives. I think over the years, creatives have been left out a lot, right? Independence is not just for the ministers or the officers, or it doesn't have to be as serious as we make it, right? There's so many ways we can celebrate independence, and this competition shows that. So persons are encouraged to send in their hairstyles, of course, independence themed, SKN themed. So we want to see the flags, the reds, the greens, the yellow, and whatever other symbol that is synonymous with with national pride. Think it's national pride. So we're encouraging persons to send in their hairstyles. Similarly, if I can go forward, we have another competition. So that was the hair. We have one for the attire, clothes, and that is called Prideful, Pride-FULL, Prideful, right? And we're encouraging persons to design and submit their own unique spin of the national dress. Of course, again, we want to see things that are synonymous with SKN Pride, the madras, the buckram, the national colors. I mean, you can go far to cut out stars, pelicans, and do whatever you think it is you, right? We want to see you through this national pride attire.
Nice.
That's a way to make it personal. All right. So if I have to ask Roma for any let's say any connection to the theme chosen for independence and the advice that you would give to anyone wanting to enter these two competitions, since you seem to be lucky all of a sudden competitions, and it is your theme that is the winning one, what would you say?
I really am lucky. I think I would just say be yourself. So as Javon mentioned, we want to see you come through. So I put into that theme the things that I think are meaningful to me, the things that I think identify me, my interests, my passions. So similarly, you can apply yourself, your full self, your authentic self to whatever creative endeavor, creative submission you enter.
So what are the guidelines, Javon, for entry into the two competitions that you mentioned, since we already have a winner for one of the competitions?
Okay, so of course, we are supporting creatives in St. Kitts and Nevis. So we encourage you to post the photos on your page with hashtags SKN in here and Prideful. Of course, the posters will be posted on the Independence page, St. Kitts Nevis Independence, and the SKNIS with the nitty-gritty details, right? But through that, we will, we have hashtags that you must use, right? And through those hashtags, we would share it on our page, and then the competition begins. But before I move on, I also want to talk about two other things, if I can. Well, three other things, if I can, sorry. I want to talk about the Independence Walk that is coming up on the 10th. It's a staple to the Independence celebration. We are starting from the War Memorial at 10. And another staple is the National Color Day. Now, every year we assign a color to a day, and we encourage workers, students, everybody in St. Kitts and Nevis to wear the assigned color on the day. So we are starting from Friday, September 9th, that's Green Day. On Monday, September 12th, yellow day, Tuesday, black, Wednesday, white, and Thursday, red. And the last thing, of course, I just want to let people know that they need to save the date and mark it on their calendars. September 30th, we are having the annual Independence Freedom Concert.
Ooh,
so
nice.
That's something to note.
All right. So, well, still more to talk about. So we'll do that when we come back. Stay tuned, everyone.
Do you know that common baked goods such as bread and crackers are high in salt? Get salt smart.
To Good Morning SKN. We are talking Independence 39, and we welcome back Zavine Roma Richardson and Javon Liber to tell us more. So, Javon, we're going to start with you. We know it's ladies first, but we're going to start with you on this go. What are the prizes for both competition?
Well, this year for the theme competition, it's usually $500, right? But keep in mind, we started late, so the competition ran for 2 days.
Okay.
In 2 days, we got over 413 submissions, right? So we're wondering, is it that people are really interested in independence, or did they just want the $1,000 that Roma won? So, but yes, it was $1,000 for that competition, which means that the other competitions' prizes has to be increased. So for the other two, it's $1,500. $1,500 for the here competition and $1,500 for the prideful competition. And for the Independence Walk, we also have a number of prizes for wacky socks, wacky shirt, the youngest walker, the oldest walker, and the first 15 to reach the finish line.
So we need to get our wacky socks, and we need to be on that trail, Jamie.
Listen, I'm still stuck at the 1,000 and 1,500.
I
In
know.
motivation enough, don't you think, Roma?
Absolutely.
All right, so we're talking about, and I get the sense from you when you mentioned it before, that it was about boosting the output of creatives and linking it to Pride Re-Independence 39. So let's talk about how the committee came to decide on hairstyle competition, because there are other avenues for, creatives to express themselves. Why the hairstyle?
I think over the years around independence, we see a lot of persons take it upon themselves to be patriotic in so many different ways, right? And one of those ways is the hairstyle, right? I know one lady in particular, I can't remember her name, but she's from New Road, and every year she amazes us with her hairstyle,
yes.
right? And
Cutie.
we thought, and we thought, why not make it a competition, right? Because we have a lot of stylists out there, we have a lot of creatives out there who can do these things. So, I mean, let's slap on an incentive and make that part of the independence celebration, because independence is all of us. We all contribute to this country, creatives, professionals, no matter what line of work you're following, we all contribute to the advancement of this country.
I'm going to put a plug here, because I know that schools have rules. I'm hoping that they would relax that for students right now. We're starting, maybe the students can participate in that competition as well.
That would be sweet.
We'll see. I'm just putting that plug out there. You don't have to do it, but I'm putting it out there.
See.
See, and this also goes back to Roma's theme for independence, reinvesting in our people, not only the hairstylists, but the students as well. Make them feel that they're a part of something big.
Well, of course, the students are usually a part of the color day, right? So it's relaxed in the schools where they are encouraged to, get 5 days away from the uniform and wear the red, the green, the yellow, the white. So there are some activities that the school, that the Ministry of Education consider, but when it comes to the here, I don't. I don't know how to answer that.
Yes,
I don't know how to answer that.
I mean, that's where the theme for independence comes in, right? To refocus, to recreate, to redesign. It means we have to really seriously take stock of where we are and where we want to go. We are investing more in creative industries by creating ministries that address them, that help to develop, empower the people working in those spaces. So it means that has to trickle down to the rest of society. We have to start from small so that the preschoolers, everybody knows what it means to be a Kittitian and Nivision, and we can aspire to alternative, ways of showing that patriotism.
And that is why she won the
We can see that. I was already thinking 40. There she has her stuff for 40 already.
Hey, you planning to enter that competition again? All right, so Roma, I gotta ask you this seriously. Hearing about these competitions, what are you expecting to see?
I really want to see people bringing their true selves. So I, for example, growing up, I've always wondered, what does it mean to be a Kittitian and Nivision? How do we record our identity, our history in books? Because, if we're not telling our own stories, somebody will tell them for us. Yes. So I want people really to see, that they can be and do whatever they want in this small country, as small as it is. And that's what I'm looking for, in competition going forward, for the theme competition, for the hairstyle competition, for anything that we do and invest and contribute to our country.
Yes.
Wow. There's so much to talk about. We barely scratched the surface. But
Really, indeed. So, Javon, can we have the deadlines for the competition, please, just before we go?
No problem. So the deadlines for both competitions, it starts today and it ends on the 15th. Okay. So again, persons are encouraged to share their submissions on Facebook, on their Facebooks, with the hashtags, and then we'll do the rest from there. I also want to say that the official independence calendar will be dropping on Wednesday, and I'm sure Ms. Rattan, the PS Rattan, the chair of the committee, should be here to drop it with you guys.
Oh, nice. Looking forward to that.
Definitely looking forward to it. Cortensia has a thing for babies, so Independence Baby, I'm putting it out there for Cortensia. We never know. Oh. Never know. Right, Cortensia?
Because I'm saying we want to know how many babies we get, both in St. Kitts and Nevis, on National Heroes Day and Independence Day. So yeah, think of that. Yeah. So I'll get what I want.
You get what you want. I just want to know if the money. Anyway, never mind. I'm kidding, guys. Thank you so much.
We're not giving prizes for baby.
Yeah.
You're not giving prizes for baby.
But ask Miss Rattan.
We will.
I don't have the authority to say that.
That's so funny. Anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you indeed, and congrats.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, we'll be back in a moment, everyone. Stay tuned.
Great news, everyone! SKN Moves is turning 3. And this year, we are going to celebrate bigly by bringing back the 7-week challenge. For week 1, we will focus on the importance of breastfeeding. In week 2, we will participate in the SKN Move anniversary walk. Week 3, let's watch the In Your Kitchen I Rep My Community competition finals. Week 4, a healthy drinking water challenge. During week 5, it's all about mindfulness and our mental health. And no, that's not all. In week 6, we will learn about self-care and management. The celebrations end in week 7 with the Caribbean Wellness Week activities, National Fruit Day and National Sneaker Day. Come participate, celebrate and enjoy. Join SKN Moves and let us move toward a healthier St. Kitts and Nevis.
You see that new boy that just joined the school last week? He brought me a chocolate this morning because I showed him the way home from school yesterday.
You like him?
No, he's just my friend. Plus, he is my neighbor. He asked me if we can walk home together for lunch tomorrow, and I told him yes.
I don't like these big boys. They tend to like to touch girls without your consent.
What do you mean by consent?
It's when one person agrees to give permission to another person to do something.
He is cute though.
Guys, you won't believe what happened the other day with the new boy from school.
What happened?
The other day, while walking home with the new guy, he followed me into my house. I thought it was okay because he seemed friendly and respectful. So I turned on the TV and offered him a soda. We sat in the chair together. Then he leaned over and kissed me. I was so shocked I sat up straight and asked him why he did that. He said he thought I liked him. I told him not in that way.
What? Girl, you should have never allowed him inside your parents' home.
My parents will be very angry if they meet any boys in our home plus kissing me.
Guys, we don't need to be burdened down with teen pregnancy and relationship problems at this time. Boys need to understand that girls are not sex objects.
Remember, you have the right to consent to every activity being performed, from holding hands to anything more, and to change your mind at any time. If your partner does not respect your wishes, this also is a form of abuse. If you, your friend or family member is being abused, you can contact one of the numbers listed below for help. Department of Gender Affairs 662-5492, Special Victims Unit 662-7077, Counseling Unit 465-5000. This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with the Ministry of Health and the Pan American Health Organization.
Children, how can you tell a tsunami coming?
Teacher me.
Sammy?
My mother said when uncle jump in the pool and the water spoosh out, that's how you tell a tsunami coming.
Settle down, children, settle down. Do you remember our tsunami song?
Yes! Mommy, uncle not here and the other shake.
Hush your mouth.
Daddy, uncle not here and the sea gone.
Who cares? You don't see all them free fish? Quick, give me the bag.
This is how you tell a tsunami a come. Teacher says so. I would have failed in school, you know.
Sammy, come, let me go. They would have failed anyhow. Let me run, see, Sammy.
Greetings, my lovely people. I'm Chantel, residing in Taiwan. 12 hours time difference. It's nighttime here, morning time in SK. I'm busy and on the go. However, I always manage to keep up to date with what's happening in SK. All thanks to Good Morning SKN. Good morning, SKN. Ciao, bango!
When growing your savings, where you save matters more than you think. Dare to compare and see for yourself why you should start saving and investing at First Federal Credit Union. You don't have to settle for cents. Let your money make sense. Reap a higher return by stashing your cash in a high-yield savings account or term deposit and earn up to 4% interest on your money. At First Federal, we say yes.
Dreamy Decor specializes in flowers for all events, from birthdays to weddings and any other special occasion. What's a better way to express to the people you love than by providing the finest selection of beautiful flowers and gifts? So when you think of flowers, think of us, Dreamy Decor.
The SKN Patriots already have the 60 under their belts, and local cricket fans are going out to the CPL matches to see if they will be able to hold on to the 2020 games as well. Today we have with us one of the organization that is making those games possible. Everything requires money, so sponsorship is critical, and Mitco realizes this. This company is less than a month old, having been launched on World Steel Pan Day, August 11th. Mitco is the brainchild of Akua Leith himself, an accomplished panist. He is here on Good Morning SKN, along with another member of his team, Duvon Stewart, who will favor us with some tunes a little later on a pan that their company has made. So good morning, gentlemen. It's our pleasure to welcome you to Good Morning SKN and to St. Kitts.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning again.
So we will begin. So Akua, tell us about your baby Mitco. When did you first come up with the idea, and how did she come to being?
Well, Mitco came in 2018. I always tell people it was a spiritual experience. I have to make that clear. It was almost a burning desire to see the fraternity grow into something beyond what it actually is. So coming up with the idea of pillars around the industry, where we have a manufacturing company, we have a private orchestra, there's a level of performance through a conservatory, we have a Hall of Fame, a museum, a steel pan store, a place where you could get grants or scholarships. So all those great ideas came to my mind in 2018, and I wrote it down and started working towards it. And in 2019, 2020, I started sharing that idea with friends and family and more or less looking for kindred spirits. And I ran into Mario Joseph, who's a director in the company. He's a master tuner who's behind this one pillar. We have the Haddad brothers, John, Robert, and Joseph. And we have Mr. David Hackett, who are all directors, and a huge team behind us, which support the initiative of the Pillar One, which is the Mitco Steel Pan Manufacturing Company. So, as I said, is really to see and establish things that will facilitate and help expand what we already do so greatly in the industry.
But I cannot help but notice the logo on Devon's shirt, because
Devon
we're saying
Stewart.
Mitco.
Yes.
But it actually stands for something. Why don't you tell us what it stands for?
Mitco means musical instruments of Trinidad and Tobago.
All right. So when we talk about that, it's a way that you brand not only something that is known to Trinidad and Tobago, but you're putting it out there to the rest of the world, right?
Yes, definitely.
All right. Most enjoyable part of the business for you so far? Obviously, it's your idea. You're bringing it to fruition. What is the most enjoyable part, if I could ask you that?
I think everything is definitely surreal. I mean, it's one thing to have an idea, but to bring it to fruition is a totally great experience. To be specific to St. Kitts and the CPL, as you said, you are 1 month old, and to launch a company that is 1 month old alongside the CPL, it was a great feat. we see the necessary act of promoting the instrument, which will more or less bring forward the performers like Devon Stewart, bring forward the instrument, and we'll have a trickle down, hopefully, towards the manufacturing aspect of it. So those have been the testing grounds we are more or less embarking on, and I can say plenty in joyous moments that is coming out of that as well. Yeah.
Devon, looks like you have a story to tell. You know, you're smiling. Joyous moments. Let's talk.
Just being a part of a grand fraternity called Steel Pan, originated from Trinidad and Tobago. It's really a privilege to be a part of the Midco team, spreading the gospel of steel pan music regionally, internationally, being the icon legend that I am, and very thankful for the people that paved the way for me to be where I am today. It just speaks volumes to be a part of a movement that could take the instrument to where no man has gone before. And that's where we are embarking on a journey to take the steel pan music throughout the Caribbean, throughout the world, and branding it in such a way that we can all come together to be a part of God's blessings, which is music. When it hits you, it's feel no pain. And being a part of Trinidad and Tobago with an instrument that was created and invented out of the bowels of the people of Trinidad and Tobago is a great honor and privilege to be flying that flag of steel pan music globally.
Well, I've got to say, now you have me on the edge of my seat with performance.
Yes.
That we're going to have a little later on, so can't wait for that.
So, Akua, your company's a baby. Why sponsor the CPL after we had Corona? Everybody's catching themselves. Why take such a leap of faith?
Yeah, exactly that, a leap of faith, you know, because we are testing the what will be the benefits of that. We will only know that at the end. But I think, just as you said, the countries are opening back up, and it's to position yourself when that is happening. The CPL is a new audience, so it's getting the instrument to new audiences as well. You're talking about a viewership of over 500 million persons, not just in the Caribbean, but in the wider world. So we saw some value in that, and we definitely said, you know, let's take that leap of faith. And many moves we have done so far in Midco has been faith moves. So we are hoping that continue to bring us some blessings. So we will see at the end, but as you said, let's take a leap of faith.
All right, final question before the break. Midco, where do I find you online? Is there a website? Is there a phone number? Anything?
Yes, definitely. There's a website, Midco Limited. We have all our handles. Check us out on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and we can always post those handles at the end of the interview, so you'll be able to access it easily. Thanks.
Thank you. And without further ado, we're going to go to a break. Give you guys some time to set up. I cannot wait for that performance, guys. Stay tuned. We'll be back in a moment.
Hey, my friend, what going on?
Not a thing. I just here cooling under this tree, about to eat a mango or two.
Where you get mango from all now?
Boy, Auntie Rose bring me some mango this morning.
Oh, gosh. What you hit me for?
You give me something to put on?
Girl, you can't just come tempting me with these juicy round pally mangoes and expect me not to want some.
Just because something looks appealing and you want it, doesn't mean you are entitled to it and that you should touch or take it. Your mother ain't teach you manners. Ask for consent first before you touch up the mango them.
But why ask? And if it's dear, it's dear. Just take it. Why ask?
Simple. If it is mine and you ain't asked for it, it is called, wait for it, stealing.
That's true. My bad. Okay. May I please have some mangoes?
I don't know. After that spectacle, I ain't sure I want to give you any.
You see that? But I ask.
Just because you ask doesn't mean I have to give. It is still my mangoes.
So what you tell me ask for then?
Because consent is everything. Had you asked first, I would have been more inclined to give you one. And just because you ask doesn't mean I have to give you. You got it?
Okay, I got it. Now, may I please have some mangoes?
Only because you're my friend and I like you. But that still don't mean you're entitled to it.
Okay, I get it. I get it.
Good. Don't leave your mango skin on the ground, eh?
If you understand the importance of asking for someone's consent for a mango, then it shouldn't be too hard to understand consent when it comes to sex. The power of consent is everything. Ask first. If you or a friend has been sexually assaulted, please call 465-5000 for the Counseling Center.
This message was brought to you by No Judgment SKN and sponsored by the Basic Needs Trust Fund, the Department of Gender Affairs, and the Caribbean Development Bank.
Yo, what up? It's your boy and Richie right here at Studio 327. I'm here to give you the promo that you guys need because this is something special for St. Kitts. I'm telling you, tune in to Good Morning SKN, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on YouTube, Facebook, and on Moen Channel 4. Also, I realize nobody else is doing this. Follow the Good Morning SKN Instagram at Good Morning SKN and the Studio 327 Inc. Instagram. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook. This is pretty long, but follow us and yeah.
So we are back for the exciting portion of the appearance of Akua Leap and Duvon Stewart here on GMSKN. Duvon is right here.
Yes.
And you know what, you're tasked with teaching us how to play pan, but even before that, I asked you, how long have you been playing?
I've been performing this instrument for the past 39 years.
Yeah, he's been playing for all my life, not his. Literally all my life. And I have to say that there's a very interesting story. As we were looking at this, I commented on the beauty of the logo, and it needed to be shined up. And I asked you, well, did you guys get water on it? Did you guys get rained on?
Well, we were part of a game last night at the Warner Park, and literally it was raining. We were performing in heavy showers last night, but yet still, it was a blessing of 500 million viewers. It was seeing us performing this great instrument, man. It was really a blessing.
All I have to say to that is that this was your opportunity to take the world by storm, and you clearly did.
And we did it by storm. We did it by storm. We did it by storm.
Oh, Cortez is so ready to play. You see?
So, again, this is a...
What type of pan
This
we have
is
here?
a soprano pan.
Okay, this is a soprano pan.
This is
Okay.
one of many.
Yes, because I know there are various ones.
In the
Yes.
steel pan family.
Okay.
You have double seconds, double tenors, guitars, triple guitars, quadraphonics, four pans, basses. So the family comprised just as the layout of a piano
Yes.
or a philharmonical orchestra. This is a steel pan family. So I'm just going to teach you something on the lead instrument.
Okay.
For the past 3 days, we were embarked with some heavy, inclement weather.
Okay.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So today, Monday, the 5th of September, we want to bring some sun.
We're going to make it hot, hot, hot.
We're going to make it hot.
Or steamy, because we might still have the rain and the heat.
Right?
Yes.
So you come behind the instrument. You hold your mallets, you lead mallets, and I'm
Okay.
going to show you some notes, right?
Okay. Okay. I think I got that.
Okay.
Okay.
Try it.
Okay.
If you make a mistake, I could correct you.
No, no problem.
She's playing hot, 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 not that hot.
So here.
So.
Here.
tried.
All right. So we've got.
Let me see if he's gonna be better than I.
A whole lot of fun.
Nice. Look at that. Look how easy he did it.
All
So with that said, we are going to allow you to do your piece since you allowed us to do our piece. So take it away.
Yeah, we're getting out of your way. Take it away.
you know that there are certain seasonings that contain more salt than you actually need? There are more natural, healthier ways to reduce the salt intake in your dishes by using natural things like onions, garlic, seasoned peppers, and even thyme and merengue powder.
No cash, no card, no problem. Jad, embrace the freedom.
Good morning, SKN. This is Lyrical. I just want to say blessings to you. There are a happy place in the life if you live in there. A happy place in the life if you live in there. Cause them at a happy place in the life. And they can't change. And they just come out here to do right. So whether day or night, they will never ever change. Blessings, blessings, and blessings.
Consuming excess salt can lead to heart attack, high blood pressure, and even stroke, and other health-related conditions such as kidney disease.
I wear a mask because I want to protect my child, but also I want to protect his classmates and his teachers.
I wear a mask because I care about the frontline workers who will have to work even harder if those around me get sick.
I wear a mask to protect my family. I wear a mask to protect you. I wear a mask because it is the right thing to do.
I wear a mask because I don't want to put any vulnerable individuals at risk, like my elderly loved ones.
I wear a mask because
we are all in this together.
Good morning. This is Karen of Paris and Paul from Paris, Vermont. I want to encourage y'all to sign on to Good Morning SKN every morning from 8 to 10 at Studio 327. Thanks.
Mother Teresa said, "It's not how much we give, but how much love we put into giving." This quote is particularly pertinent today as it is International Day of Charity, a day on which persons around the world, inspired by Mother Teresa, lend a hand to their friends, families, and strangers alike. Cortensia and I will be sharing some background information on this international observance. But before we do,
So, Jamie, what does charity mean to you?
everything that Mother Teresa said.
That's
Can't
the
get
easy
much
way
better
out.
than that.
That's the
Can't get
easy
much
way
better
out.
than that.
But do you understand the phrase charity begins at home, though?
Yes, I think I do.
Okay, so
That's
give
what
me
you-
your explanation for it.
That's where you learn to care for others, selflessly.
And it also says that you cannot be outside doing charities when at home your family is basically suffering. So, yeah.
True, that makes sense. Makes perfect sense.
Oh, thanks for the
So
save.
we're learning all about International Day of Charity. Let's learn more. I love that, helping hands and heart.
And Jamie just did a charitable act. Although I think something's
I need to get paid now.
No, you don't get paid when you do charity.
To give more, to do it again, you know?
Oh my gosh, no. So the background of International Charity Day. The International Day of Charity was established with the objective of sensitizing, not sanitizing, I guess I still have that in my head, sensitizing and mobilizing people. So the NGOs and stakeholders all around the world to help others through volunteer and philanthropic activities.
Nice.
And it was started in Hungary, and then on September the 5th, I think, was it 2010? 2010, I think, the UN made it globally, made it a world holiday globally. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And we're talking about it now.
Yeah, and it's so befitting that they use Mother Teresa as a backdrop, because they put it on the Day of her death, which was September the 5th, 1997, and she started a charitable organization in 1950 called the Missionaries of Orders, where she and nuns dedicated their lives to looking after the poor.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah.
All right, well, I guess you said some of this, but we'll talk about it. More on the background. The date of September 5th was chosen in order to commemorate the anniversary of the passing away of Mother Teresa of Calcutta, who received the Nobel Peace Prize in 1979 for work undertaken in the struggle to overcome poverty and distress, which also constitute a threat to peace. It really does when you look at it that way. It does constitute a threat to peace.
Oh,
This is so great. And right, September 5th being today, obviously the anniversary of her passing, as you mentioned.
But
What a great way to commemorate her.
I know. And as Corinne J said, you have not lived until you basically have give. So once you give, you live.
That's actually a very nice synopsis of that. And nice is not the word that I want to use, but I'll use it there.
Yes.
It's very great. It's a terrific synopsis.
Yes.
We have some additional background information on her.
So Mother Teresa, the renowned nun and missionary, was born in 1910. In 1928, she went to India, where she devoted herself to helping the poverty-stricken. In 1950, she founded the Order of the Missionaries of Charity in Kolkata, which became noted for its work among the poor and dying in the city, which I said
Yes,
before.
you did.
Yes, I did my research. But I also learned that charitable acts date back to 2500 BC. And then in the 1600s, there was an act that passed that made it possible. So, yeah.
Okay.
I learned a lot. All of this from Google, by the way, so thank you, Google. Thank you, Google.
If Google responds to you, I'm sorry. Okay.
Ooh.
Amazon does that. Google does it. Well,
You never know. Today might be the first. Today might be the first, indeed.
Charity. So, wow. Okay, let's go on. For over 45 years, she ministered to the poor, sick, orphaned, and dying. You're talking about a lifetime here. That's
Yes,
45 years.
indeed.
And she did this while guiding the Missionaries of Charity's expansion, first in India and then in other countries, including hospices and homes for the poorest and homeless. This is a life's work. This is what we're talking about here. And it's about giving.
She dedicated her life to that.
More, giving beyond
Yes.
yourself, exactly.
Yes.
It takes a very special person to commit their
Yes.
life to something like that. And indeed, she was very special.
And in a country that is faced by so much, she's very brave, I must say. Very brave to put herself out there like that and be as charitable as she was.
I love the fact that, yes, seemingly emerged out of her religious upbringing as well, her religious background.
Yeah, Roman
It
Catholic.
does speak to religion needing to influence others to touch lives as well, because we ought to live for more than ourselves if we are
Yes.
really going to be religious.
Yeah. So charity begins at home. So start taking care of home, and then it's also proven that when you give more of your money, you're happier.
I've got my hand up. Actually, both of them are out now. I'm getting a high five, not a $5 bill, by the way. You guys saw that.
So we have some more background information on Mother Teresa. Her work has been recognized and acclaimed throughout the world, and she has received a number of awards and distinctions, including the Nobel Peace Prize. Mother Teresa died on September the 5th, 1997, at 87 years of age. So she got her 3 scores plus 27 more. Bam.
And half of that would be?
20. 50. I am sticking to 50, and that is not correct in mathematics, kids. So if you're watching, that's not correct, but Hortense is sticking to 50, okay? So she made it to 50. Ha. And then she got 37 years more. She just was a tad short to get to the other 50.
You are the only one that I know who thinks middle age is 50. But anyway, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Indeed. 87 years old, that's a whole life. I mean, and when I say a whole life.
And she was active until then.
Talking,
yes.
Yeah, and to see that, I grew up knowing about Mother Teresa.
Yeah, we all
we
did.
We heard about Mother Teresa.
She was famed.
We're doing something like that, something so selfless. So it doesn't have to be notoriety that gets you famous. You know what I mean? You could do good things and become famous. And let's talk to the importance now about this day, or of this day. This day reminds us to give back, which it does. It's very easy to live our lives and forget about all the injustices in the world. Absolutely true. International Day of Charity helps bring our attention back and raise awareness for all the little ways we can help. And I love that, the emphasis on the little ways, because it doesn't have to be a grand act. It could be something that is just so minuscule, it seems, right?
Yes.
But it does something, right? Yes. It does something to the person who's affected by it. So, yeah, like when I gave you my hand for the 5 and I didn't get it.
But I gave you a 5.
Oh, yeah.
A low 5.
Yeah.
I don't have my purse.
Yeah.
You got a 5.
Now, if you gave me another 5, I would be able to then give somebody a 4.
So bring the other hand. Bring the other hand.
It is what it is. You know, we're just messing around. Seriously, very important day indeed.
Yes. So please give of your time, your monies, your clothing, anything that you may have. Oh, look at that. Another important fact. It also spreads awareness. International Day of Charity gives a platform to causes that we might otherwise not be aware of, as well as providing lots of ways to help these causes. Because until we know about the diseases, we don't know that we can actually, there's a charity that we can support. So that is correct. We must be educated.
Well, you know, this is a great day, and I imagine it being in the month of September, should we have any more information on it, we'll be free to share, because you and I can have these discussions.
Yeah.
For now, though, we'll go to commercial, but we'll be back in a moment. Stay tuned.
Yo, this is your boy Smiley of the Grandmasters Band, and you're watching GMSKN. Hey, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, just make sure you're watching GMSKN. What up?
When growing your savings, where you save matters more than you think. Dare to compare and see for yourself why you should start saving and investing at First Federal Credit Union. You don't have to settle for cents. Let your money make sense. Reap a higher return by stashing your cash in a high-yield savings account or term deposit and earn up to 4% interest on your money. At First Federal, we say yes.
Thank you for joining us today for another edition of GMSKN. Of course, remember to follow us on our social media platforms. We're all over, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're on YouTube at Studio 327 Inc. We are on Facebook and I got it right. So YouTube, it's Studio 327 Inc. Facebook is also at Studio 327 Inc. The odd one out, which is probably the better one, the one that you get to us directly. Yeah, we got it. Good Morning SKN. That's the handle. So at Good Morning SKN, right? You'll find us there on Instagram. Remember to like, subscribe, follow, and share. And I have to tell you, by the way, before I do this, that I got secret footage that you didn't see when Devon was up here playing. So this is JMZ. We're going to drop it first. Nobody in the studio is going to do that. So I'm going to let you know how you, well, maybe you can find me on social media and you'll get it first. Right? I'll share it though. It's travel.
And it was indeed a very lovely show today. We started Monday off with a bang. So leave us a comment and let us know what was your favorite part of today's show. And this is where we say, see you tomorrow. That's Tuesday morning at 8 a.m. when you will start your morning with us right here at Good Morning SKN, where there's always a little bit of something for everyone. So have a great day, guys, and thank you as usual for watching.